So, Eddie, Kubrat Pulev, Derek Chisora, total carnage.
Yeah. What happens is, I like strap lines,
Yeah.
right, because I'm a bit cheesy. So I said to the office in a voice note, guys, we've made Chisora Pulev, come up with the artwork. I want a strap line. Something like total carnage, because that's what this fight is and will be. And they came back with total carnage. So it's the best way to describe it. The build-up, the weigh-in day, the fight week, the fight itself. It's just a really good heavyweight fight between two guys that must win. Two world-class heavyweights as well that everybody knows. And you're going to see a great fight July 9th at the O2.
And that is the thing, isn't it? People will talk about their ages, Eddie, okay? But for Derek, 3 defeats on the trot, but he's still a massive draw.
But look who he's fighting.
Of course.
He lost to Alexander Usyk.
Yeah.
He lost in a fight, Joseph Parker, the first one, that definitely could have gone either way.
Yeah.
I would have said to Derek Chisora after the second Parker fight, let's get a nice win.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not interested in a nice win. And actually, we should embrace that because fight fans hate one-sided fights.
Yeah.
So Derek Chisora is once again in a 50-50 fight where you're going to see a guy give his absolute all, go through horrible things in the ring to try and give you victory, put his heart on the line, and that's why people love him. But how many losses can you take? We know that Kubrat Pulev is coming off wins.
Yeah.
Only 2 defeats in his career, Vladimir Klitschko and Anthony Joshua. This is a top 10 heavyweight in itself, but I believe Derek can beat him, and very unlucky not to get the decision in Bulgaria many years ago.
Yeah, and that is something as well, isn't it? Let's not forget, these two have fought before, but you would probably have Derek now as the favourite, despite the fact last time, with all due respect, Eddie, it was quite one-sided for Kubrat, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I felt like it was quite a close fight, but it's funny that as Chisora's got older, he's also got better.
Yeah, no, he has.
And
Definitely
I think
has.
that when you look at his performances back then, he was British level, European level.
Yeah.
Some of his performances against probably Dillian Whyte could put him as a world-class heavyweight, and he's very tough, very strong. And he may be a slight favourite going into this fight, but
I think so.
Pulev coming off a couple of decent, solid wins, did well against AJ. Lost to Anthony Joshua in the 11th round, but he believes, and the reason they took this fight is the perfect timing to do a job on Derek Chisora. Derek thinks very differently.
And you mentioned the fact that Derek, the fans love him.
Yeah.
He sells tickets. He does. There's no getting away from that fact. And Derek is always pushing you, isn't he, for big fights?
Yeah, and not interested in easy fights.
No.
Not interested in easy wins. I want a war, basically, and I want a fight. This is a guy that wants to entertain the fans. That's why the O2 was always busy for him. People respect him, but must win. Because at some point, the losing streak, people turn around and say, that's your lot now. So he may not admit that, but I think deep down he knows he must win this fight.
Deontay Wilder was a name we heard whispers of with Derek Chisora. Is that something that could happen?
Maybe. I mean, if he beats Kubrat Pulev, it opens the door for all those fights. You know. Deontay Wilder has to fight someone. Personally, I think a fight with Derek Chisora is a cracker.
I think it'd be a great fight.
If he beats Pulev, it becomes a genuine possibility. I think all eyes on Pulev, but great to see Deontay Wilder back in the ring. Great name, great entertaining fighter for the heavyweight division.
I've got to ask you, AJ Usyk, have we got any update on that at the moment?
Yeah, well, I'm feeling better today because I can actually tell you that we've done it.
Okay.
Now, you will have to wait till early next week for the official announcement,
right.
But it'll be no more, hopefully, next week, 2 weeks' time. Next week, you will get the news. That fight is made, and we're very excited to get official announcement underway.
Saudi Arabia?
Middle East, we'll announce that fight for an August date. And as I said, official announcement coming next week, but no more waiting. Just give me a couple of days and finally we've got everything done.
All right, we'll wait a couple more days. But Eddie, at the moment, it won't escape you in the news at the moment. Lots of controversy. Saudi Arabia, we've got the Live Golf Series, and of course we had the talk about Newcastle United as well. What would you say to anyone in terms of that controversy around sporting events and Saudi Arabia being involved in huge events like this?
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is just be honest. I think that's one of the problems with the golf situation is you've got too many players not really prepared to speak the truth. Sometimes you have to understand a lot of these new projects are interesting, they're motivating for athletes. There's a lot of development that goes into the sport in that part of the world. There's also a lot of money. Let's not get it mixed up. Boxing is not cricket, it's not golf, right? You're talking about prize fighters that are going out, putting their health on the line, in a sport that can be damaging to give you entertainment. We shouldn't, and my job is to maximise the earnings for the risk that's involved in this sport. I have an obligation to deliver for my fighters and make them as much money as possible. We've done an event in Saudi Arabia before with Anthony Joshua against Andy Ruiz. It was a huge success for us. It was a great event working with people that were genuinely invested with the sport. I will also tell you that, of course, money plays a big factor in making a decision in prize fighting. Golf, I understand, and I'm not saying that golfers shouldn't play on the Live Tour, of course not, but I think people should be more honest and say, I'm excited by this opportunity, I've received a lot of money to take part in this event, and I've sat down with my family and I've made a decision, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong, but you know, when last time we did the event in Saudi Arabia, we talked about the WWE going there, the PGA Tour going there, Formula One going there.
Yeah.
I'm not distancing myself from those sports.
Sure.
But boxing is very different.
Okay.
You know, I have a contract with Alexander Usyk that's a split with Anthony Joshua, and it says quite clearly we must go to the site that ultimately offers the most money.
Yeah.
And it's much easier to make those decisions in boxing because I've seen the bad side of boxing. I've seen the dangers of boxing. And again, now that I've experienced it, and actually a high quality event last time, it was easy for us to make a decision and go back.
Yeah.
But I just feel like a little bit more honesty all round would help the situation.
Absolutely. We saw recently Tyson Fury and Dillian White in Wembley. Huge numbers. Surely for you as well as a promoter, that would be something you'd love to bring back to. Would you love to do that again, though? Because that's what we want here, isn't it, in this country?
Of course, but also when you sit down with a fighter and they could make 5 times more money going to another venue. One, contractually, you have no choice with Alexander Usyk. But 2, there's nothing more than we'd like home advantage for this fight.
Absolutely,
it's a big plus. But as well, you're not talking about anywhere close. You know, if it was that kind of decision, if it was double, okay, but we can understand we want to do it there.
You're talking bigger.
You're talking bigger. But again, I don't want to sort of blame the fact of the dangers of boxing. But I also want to say, this ain't a game of golf.
Sure.
You know, and this is a dangerous sport that these fighters had a very limited window to make as much money as they can in the sport. We've done it before, we've experienced before, we enjoyed our time there, and we're looking forward to another huge event.
Sticking with business, AJ, his contract with Sky ran out after the last fight with Alexander Usyk. Reading stories, he might be about to join you over at DAZN. Any truth in that?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very long process of which a decision has been made there as well. That will come after the fight announcement for very different reasons. Look, when Anthony Joshua became a broadcast free agent, the demand was incredible.
I can imagine.
Of course, were desperate to keep him. The Zone were desperate to sign him to you know, change the game there and just send shockwaves through the sport. It's been a long process. Myself, Anthony, 258, Frank Smith, everybody at Matchroom have gone through that process. You will get an official announcement on that very soon, and it's exciting times.
But I presume you want to continue working with him, right?
Oh, AJ, yeah, we've got a lifelong, career-long deal with him, so we'll work with Anthony Joshua for the rest of his career. And broadcast-wise, we've made the best decision with Anthony for his career.
And just lastly then, on the actual fight itself, he needs to win, doesn't he?
Absolutely. You know,
can he do it?
I truly believe he can. He's in a great frame of mind. Robert Garcia now in the camp, you know, sort of breathing positivity through everybody, looking spiteful, looking dangerous, and I believe in August you're going to see Anthony Joshua become world champion once more.